Hello there and welcome back to the Sanctum. What the hell happened to my camera? Let me fix it. So there you got it.
Hello, girls and boys.
Yeah,
How's
look
it going?
at that. Somebody stole my shot. So yeah, we're coming back to the mix that we started off on Mixbus a few days ago. And I don't know what's wrong with this thing. Look at that. Somebody's been able to see my entire underwear. What's it's incorrect, but wherever.
I think that's how it's gonna be.
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with this, but whatever. Okay, so coming back to this. Yeah, welcome back to the Sanctum. I'll show you all my tricks. I'll put them off live right in front of you. And as you can see, we're truly going live because, it happened. Now, as I said before, we're going to be coming back to Harrison Mixbus, the software that we've been rocking for mixing this particular track. We're kind of getting somewhere now. We're very close to the end. Not very close to the end, but very close to at least the third quarter when it comes to getting the song finished. It's sounding very, very much like a record, almost, kinda, allegedly, already. So we're gonna be, mixing up a little bit more. And how, as the title of this video implies, we're gonna be adding vibe. What does that stands for? Do you have an idea?
Not really.
Well, vibe stands for adding personality and making the sound of the song be a little groovier. So we're gonna be doing that through the use of effects. We're going to be adding a little bit of reverb, a little bit of delay, and a modulation to certain elements so we can make the sound of the mix much more engaging. So with that being said, let's get into it. Welcome back to Harrison Mixbus. In front of us with the project that we're going to keep rocking for the mixing of this project. As usual, we're going to start... Sorry, wrong button. As usual, we're going to start off by going all the way down to the very beginning of the track, so we can have an idea of what kind of music we're dealing with and what's the state of first, okay? So here we go from the top.
Here we go!
walls call. A fragile world begins to fall. The stars are dim, their stories pale. Lost behind the blackened veil. We're lost behind the 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 The veil may fall, its grip undone. When hearts unite to greet the sun, with every step we find the trail and cast aside the blackened veil. Oh, the blackened veil, it blinds the day, steals the colors, fades the way. In its embrace we lose our sight, dancing blind through endless night. But in the dark, a whisper sings of broken chains and mended wings. A spark defies the shadow's gale to tear apart the blackened veil. 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 The blackened veil.
Okay, so Robbie, how is it going? The Stoner Rave, and it gets sometimes beautiful and sometimes invisible for that matter. Tewagami said hello to you through the
Hello.
years. Look at that, because he might be invisible. I was about to make a very good joke, but related to your darkness. But I'm gonna stop there. But because we can get us in trouble. But yeah, Robbie, we're coming back, and as you can see, every single one of you, we actually improved a little bit the live stream by the fact that we can actually have access to the live chat in front of you. So each of your questions will be now visible. And Robbie, you're already drinking. Well done. You're making your country proud. Unlike me, I should be not. Well, I'm not drinking today. We drink tomorrow. That's for our show. Now, coming back to the mix. What we got here is actually a very advanced mix, I gotta say. To my taste and to my ears, it sounds very much in a position in which I feel confident. I don't know if that makes sense to you, because we got a proper represented low end. The balance between the vast majority of the instruments is already quite present and in proper order. That makes it feel correct, if that makes sense to you. Now I can feel that every move I make is gonna be in the betterment, in the name of the betterment of the mix. Now, what I don't like, plenty of things. For example, there is this weird noise that I like at the beginning, and I don't know if you managed to hear it. I'm gonna play it back again. Here, at the very beginning. It's kind of, I think it's the result of one of the plugins that I used. And let's see, pay attention to it. And I don't know exactly which instrument is the one that it's coming from. I think it's coming from pad 1, this guy. Let's see. I'm gonna solo it. Can you hear it?
Barely.
But could you?
No.
Pay attention again. Listen to it. It's kind of like a little bit of a tape saturation thing. And it only happens at the very beginning. Here we go. Look, once again. Now you heard it, right?
Yeah.
It sounds like AC. I like it.
It's a warm kind of noise.
Yeah, it's noise, and I like it. The thing is that it begins quite abruptly. Check it out. I'm gonna apply a little bit of fade in over here. Let me zoom in so we can see exactly the point in which I'm actually doing it. This take here. I think it's gonna sound better.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
It was better, right?
It is.
It made the feel of the music a little bit more kind of scenic, but I have a huge problem with it later. Look, it pops at the very end as well because the third track is playing throughout the entire track. I couldn't hear it throughout the track, but at the end I could. Look.
Yeah.
It annoys me. So I'm gonna remove
Subtle but wrong.
Subtle but wrong. I don't have issues with it throughout the track, but the very end, damn, it was super distracting. So, with that being done, now let's begin. What do you think about the vocals?
I think they need more grace, more
More
shine.
More shine.
Yeah.
I like how they are sitting in the mix now, being very honest. The singing vocals, mind you. So let's go to that part first. Let's analyze it.
Beneath the sky, where the shadows creep, a whispered curse, where secrets sleep. The moon is cloaked, its light defiled, the blackened veil.
Yeah, Robbie, it sounds like a mechanical reverb, that effect, and I think it's the result of, if I recall correctly, we used Lo-Fi or Mellow something by Arturia. It's a plugin that I used to add a little bit of that kind of cozy slash musical tone to the strings, because I was trying to mimic the sound of this thing, because that thing is crusty. And it sounds very good, but it doesn't have MIDI. That's why you have never seen me using it live, because I suck on keyboard. I'm not a keyboard player by any means yet, so I don't want to show my weakness online. But it sounds beautiful. Now coming back to this, I think the main vocals are kind of loud. I'm gonna back it off and let's find a spot for them. Okay, I'm gonna switch to the mixer so you can see the same reflection. And let me make sure, yeah, it's visible. Still, yeah, there is. Here we go. So I'm gonna back off both. Remember that we got the dry vocals and the stereo effects on the vocals, okay?
Beneath the shadows creep, a whispered curse, where secrets sleep. The moon is closed, its light defiled, the blackened veil consumes the wild. Through the hollow winds, the echoes call, a fragile world begins to fall.
Way better, right?
Yeah.
It's sitting much more in the confinement of the mix. Did you manage to fix your camera?
Nope.
So look at that.
So it's gonna be a voice from the beyond.
So
today.
chances are that it died through that.
Perhaps.
Finally, we could use my phone, but it would be a mess.
I'm gonna give it another try in a few
Yeah,
minutes.
yeah,
but-
yeah. So keep charging. Okay, now going back to the vocals. Now I think it's time to add a little bit of reverb to these vocals. Even though we got already this beautiful effect on the vocal.
Beneath the sky, where the shadows creep.
It's similar to a reverb plus delay together. And Robbie, I think you were the one behind. You were the mastermind behind this crime against bad taste. So, you see what I did there?
Yeah. Nice save.
Yeah. No, but if I recall correct, well, I don't know what you did there because I think you sent this file as it is. Well done. It's working as an effect, but it's not necessarily speaking gluing the vocals to the song. So I'm gonna add an extra layer of reverb. Okay. So let's do it. Let's begin from there. I'm gonna go to my sense here, not sense. Why? Because we're rocking the main big Chungus, fantastic, incredibly revamped template. So we're gonna be using look at the Chungus. We're gonna
It's been
be,
a while.
It's been a while. Yeah, but it's always welcome. We're gonna be using an actual synth here. So we're gonna do it by creating, right-clicking on the channel, new aux synth, and let's see what to use. I have different reverbs in this setup. Let's begin with the whole, because we might need to add a little bit of depth to the sound. So let's begin with it. I'm gonna press play, and we're gonna be adding this to taste. Oh, so good. Here we go. Pay attention to how much the vocals could potentially feel much more put together within the mix.
Beneath the sky, where the shadows creep. A whispered curse, where secrets sleep. The moon is close.
God damn it, that was awesome!
Yeah.
It simply worked. Let me check the plugin because I have no idea how I managed to do that. Damn it! Sometimes I will surprise myself. Okay, with my humbleness. Okay, let me make sure that it's visible to everybody. Now look at this. This is what we're doing with it. This is the Flex Verb by Solid State Logic. If you have been following this channel for a while, you know that I love this bad boy. It's very efficient, and well, this is why. It simply works. We already doctored this version, this template, if I recall correct. Not this template, this variant of the plugin. Maybe the reason why it felt so good and it instantly worked was due to the fact that it was already designed for this mix. So it was just simply adding it to taste. But in my opinion, it still feels a little bit not glued together, because I would like to add a little bit more of that reverb. Let's see if by doing the same on the effect sound, on the affected signal, we get something similar. Here we go. Once again.
Beneath the sky, where the shadows creep. A whispered curse, where secrets sleep. The moon is close.
Very good, right?
Yeah.
It's starting to shape up better. Why is this working? Since we already applied a little bit of this reverb to several instruments, let me show you. Sorry for switching cameras that abruptly. We got already applied to some of the indirect microphones. Not microphones. Some of the sounds that are part of the drum kit. This is not a real drum kit, so it's already adding this sense of kind of how can I put it? It's creating the layer that puts everything together in the mix. So by integrating the sound of the voice to this particular effect, we are giving the impression to the listener that everything is happening in the same space at the same time. Don't know if that makes sense.
It does. I suppose it's very subconscious because
It's psychoacoustics.
yeah, nobody's actually gonna be able to pinpoint.
No.
Okay, the snare was in this room and the rest
Impossible.
wasn't. But
Nobody.
we
not,
feel it, and it feels off when we
yeah,
feel it.
Not even people in this area stops to think about that, for real.
Yeah.
Because it's something that you it's felt. It's not actually analyzed. It's not mechanical, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and look, Robert here saying the vocals are becoming part of the stage.
Good point.
That's
exactly.
how it feels.
You said it better than I did, man.
Yeah.
Exactly. But that's the point. And that's something that we have to be, as mixers, we have to be mindful of. Because one of the many problems that we face, especially when you're beginning your career as this or learning your way around the craft, is that you stop thinking in terms of you being there while the band is playing or the artist is performing. You focus so much on the technicalities and the routings and the technical aspect of music production and mixing, right? Rather than the musical aspect of music production and mixing.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Makes sense, yeah.
Okay. Now, I like what you said, Robbie. We set the stage for the vocals. Now let's make them a little bit larger than life. Let's add a little bit of flair. Because this is not making the vocals sound cooler. This is making the vocals fit better in the mix. Because at the beginning it was a little bit louder than I would like it, and it was just so what we did. We simply pushed it back a little bit, just a smidge, just to make sure that we got the right amount of vocals. And then with the reverb, we brought them inside of the stage. Now let's add a little bit of flair to it. So first, I'm gonna go for my vocals again, dry vocals for this for this exchange, and let's use. I'm gonna play a little bit of Dimension D first. Here we go. What is Dimension? I don't know. Let me see. No, it should be some form of yeah. Is the actual Dimension D. So fantastic recreation of the software. This particular combo. Switching the 1 and the 4 on is my favorite for this application. The same what happens with an 1176. You can actually jank up both buttons at the same time, and you create an extra mode that wasn't intended.
Okay.
Yeah. So what I'm gonna be doing with this is creating a little bit of a wider sounding stage for the vocals, because the vocals are mono right now. We're gonna make them stereo without losing mono compatibility. Why? Losing. Here we go. Right after my channel strip, or this particular bus dimension, has the Dimension D, and then is followed by, obviously, the stereo maker, because the plan is to go insane. And I spat, and probably, and hopefully you didn't see it, but maybe you did. I don't know. So what we're gonna be doing with this, we're gonna expand a little bit the width of the sound of the vocals by feeding it through it, and let me make sure that here is visible to everyone. Perfect. So let's begin. I'm gonna keep it like that all the way to the top, because I'm gonna be controlling the amount through the use of the send knob here. Ready? Here we go.
Beneath the sky, where the shadows creep, a whispered curse, where secrets sleep. The moon is closed, it's like defiled. The blackened veil consumes the wild. Through the hollow winds, the echoes call. A fragile world begins to fall. The stars are dim, their stories pale. Lost behind the blackened veil. Lost behind.
Like it, but I don't know if it's too much. Let's do it again.
Beneath the sky, where the shadows creep, a whispered curse, where secrets sleep. The moon is closed, it's like defiled. The blackened veil consumes the.
What do you think?
I like it.
Just
Actually, I like it.
you're back.
Look at that.
at that, stern and brave.
Alaka
Okay, finally you're back. So you were saying.
No, I do feel that the vocals are feeling more spacious, basically. Yeah, they're wider. That's
They're
what's
wider.
meant to
That's
be
what it's doing. But now I think I'm gonna go to the particular bus, and I'm gonna play a little bit of EQ. But I'm gonna put the EQ right at, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna use the fantastic the Harrison EQ. I'm gonna add a little bit of. Let me make sure that it's visible. Yeah, it is perfect. Okay. Well, I'm gonna be applying a little bit of high end. I'm gonna be filtering this guy first Let's see how much we can filter. Pay attention to the heaviness of the vocals, okay?
Beneath the sky, where the shadows creep, a whispered curse.
Could you hear a difference? If you didn't, where
Yeah.
are you?
Yeah, the vocals popped up more.
It's
Became-
because you could hear probably a little bit of some form of phase issue. I don't know how to describe it. That low end became rumbly. So yeah, and look at this. Robbie saying Tiago exists and is no longer a figment of my existence of my imagination. Yeah, actually, Robbie.
I'm not
Yeah.
even sure that I'm not a figment of my own imagination,
Yeah,
Robbie.
that's
This
a
is taking
question-
us into places that we shouldn't go live.
Yeah. We could end up at the mountains of madness. Okay, so in front of the mountains of madness. Okay, coming back to this. Yeah, I don't know if it was audible to you, but chances are that it was very, very much felt. Because there was a little bit of an extra honkiness
Yeah.
that wasn't present. And you saw me that when I applied the doubler, not the dimension to the sound of the vocals, I even made faces. I know because I have a replica of the screen here. So I realized that something was funky. And on a second inspection, when I did the second run and I applied, and you can, if you rewind the video, you will see that I ended up landing basically in the same position. But I realized what the problem was. A little bit of extra low end as a result of the build up on the Dimension D. Got it? Could I play a little bit more? Let's see. Maybe a little bit of highs. Here we go. I'm gonna let me make sure that I select that channel. So I'm gonna control it with the sound. Here is Dimension. So get me the EQ. I'm gonna be playing a little bit of the high end. So ready? I'm gonna crank it up just a smidge, and then we're gonna be playing around with the frequency. Ready? Here we go.
Beneath the sky, where the shadows creep, a whispered curse. When
That was excellent, right?
Yep, a little bit more definition to the whole thing.
Because we added definition. By applying a little bit of that, we added a little bit of air that is being summed up to the main vocals. It's also helping in creating a little bit of a louder, perceived loudness on the vocals without actually having to push them. And of course, yeah, of course it's louder because you got of course it is louder because of that, but it's not only that, man. Because if you see how loud that particular dimension channel strip is, you'll be surprised. Let me show you. Pay attention. You got it in front of you. Okay, it's this guy.
beneath the sky, where the shadows creep, a whispered curse, where secrets sleep. The moon is closed, it's like defiled. The blackened veil consumes the wild. Through the hollow winds, the echoes call.
You see, it's almost nothing.
yeah.
Here, the only thing I don't like about that vocal is the opening line beneath the sky is popping too much. We're gonna work on it, Robbie, because it feels a little bit like abrupt, right? There are ways to do it. Maybe we will have to use a compressor, which has already been applied, but I also feel it a little bit too much in your face. So let's try first. Let's take a look at the compressor. And yeah, you saw, we're barely pushing it.
Yeah.
It's very little extra volume added to the sum, but it's the fact that it's going to the sides that creates this. Yeah, it's more present.
Because it's larger rather than louder.
Excellent description. Exactly. Now let's take a look at that because Robbie, you're correct. It's also annoying me. We're gonna see. Going back to the compressor here, we're already clamping it, but it's just that particular point. I know exactly. It's the Bennett. Probably because you were too excited, or I don't know. So I don't want to mess around with the compressor because I like everything, but I want to clap down that particular instance. So let's try right after the EQ, a new plugin. I'm gonna go for. Let me see. Yeah, exactly. That's one of those moments. I think I'm gonna go for the dynamic compressor again. Yes, I think I will, because that guy... No, you know what?
No.
Even better. Split Q. Or S. What's the company?
It's Eventide.
Eventide, of course. Look at that. The so-called fanboy. What the hell is it? Damn.
They're all Eventide?
Yeah.
Well.
The thing is that it's loading both the VST3 and the audio unit version. Machine, no. Precision, EQ, even no, Fusion is no.
Lower.
Thank you. Split Q, huh?
Yeah.
Good. Here is. Sorry. But remember that my IQ is not necessarily the highest. Okay.
We notice.
We notice, so it's clear. Okay, here we go. We're gonna be trying to just find that particular frequency, and I'm gonna try to clamp it with the use of the transient information. Okay. My guesstimate is that it's gonna be somewhere around this area or this area. So let's see. I'm gonna solo the vocals. Sounds like this. Wait a second.
Beneath the sky, where the shadows creep. Beneath the sky, where the shadows creep. A wind.
I put the split right after the cue. You were saying, Robbie, you could show viewers how to use the clip edit. Also, let me try this first. Look, because this is the fancier version. Now, the things that I would like to try to see if I could just automatically do it. Because there are ways. Let's see. Transient.
Beneath the sky, where the shadows creep. A whispered
Let me... Logic. Let me just go straight to that point so we can snipe out. Is that guy. Marker 4, right on money. Perfect. Here we go. Split game.
Beneath the sky, where the shadows creep. A whispered
Give me a second. Maybe the other guy was the better option. I'm gonna insert both because I think both could be good. I'm gonna go for a Fusion. Where the hell? Here it is. You know, saying Fusion, isn't it supposed to be used for effects purposes? Of course, but it has this dynamics, so we can pinpoint exactly where. We're gonna focus only on the transient information, and we're gonna be using the mix knob in the end. Let's see.
Beneath the sky.
Let's do it again.
Beneath the sky, where the shadows creep. A whispered curse, where secrets sleep. The moon is cloaked. Beneath the sky.
Fast attack.
Beneath the sky.
Better, right?
That was Mutter, yeah.
That was his motor. Let's be a little bit more aggressive on the attack.
Beneath the sky, where the shadows creep. A whispered curse, where secrets sleep. The moon is cloaked, its light defiled. The blackened veil consumes the wild. Through the hollow winds, the echoes call. A fragile world begins to fall. The stars are dim, their stories pale. Lost behind the blackened veil. Beneath the sky, where the shadows creep. A whispered curse, where secrets sleep. The moon is cloaked.
Nah, I'm not happy. No, so let's try then the split the Q. Oh, wait a second. Let me just make sure that I don't have... Oh, yes. I had it on. The solo. Let's see.
Beneath the sky, where the shadows creep.
Put Fission here. Let's do it again.
Beneath the sky, where the shadows creep. Beneath the sky, where the shadows creep.
Okay, starting to get somewhere. I'm gonna try to go more aggressive on the attack and more intense on the ratio again.
Beneath the sky, where the shadows creep. A whispered curse. Beneath the sky.
Let's see in the mix. I'm gonna go back a little bit.
Beneath the sky, where the shadows creep. A whispered curse, where secrets sleep. The moon is closed, its light defiled. The blackened veil consumes the wild. Through the hollow winds, the echoes call. A fragile world begins to fall. The stars are dim, their stories pale. Lost behind. Beneath the sky, where the shadows creep. A whispered curse, where secrets sleep.
I think it's working. Sounds smoother. Pay attention to it again.
Beneath the sky, where the shadows creep. A whispered curse.
I like it on everything, but that beneath, it's super, super, super intense. Let's check, because you might be into something, man. We might be needing to do something different with it. Let me go for the vocal. But now, first, let me explain what happened. What I did here, Fission is basically Fission, I don't know the pronunciation. It's a plugin that has it's doing the same thing as the split EQ does, which is splitting the signal into transient information and harmonic or and spectral information. In this case, is known as tonal. Okay, so what you do with that is that you can apply, in the case of the split EQ, you can apply EQ based or focusing on the attack of the sound without affecting the release or the decay, the stuff that is not the vocals. Get me? So what Fission does is actually applying that principle, but instead of using EQ, it actually applies effects. I turn off the module that affects the tonal information, as you can see here, because this guy would have applied effects to the sound of the vocals. That is the release. Okay, I don't want it. I just simply want to apply the dynamics. By doing that, I just worked on that particular attack without affecting the rest of the sound of the vocals, and it is smoothing out everything beautifully. I liked it a lot, but it didn't do the job that we were hoping for. And as you are mentioning, Robbie, I think I'm gonna just do that. I was thinking on doing that, exactly that, which is adding a fade in and trying to get the vocals in a way that are musical and smooth. So let's see. And let me see. That's not what I want. Let's see. Something like this. Because you're just trying to catch the V.
Beneath the sky.
Almost there.
Beneath the sky, where the shadows creep. A whispered curse, where secrets sleep. The moon is closed, its light defiled. The blackened veil.
Oof. Now I feel the sound of the syllables a little bit more intensely. I'm gonna turn off Fission.
Beneath the sky, where the shadows creep. A whispered curse, where secrets sleep. The moon. Beneath the sky, where the shadows creep. A whispered curse, where secrets sleep. The moon.
Yeah, but it's easy to fix. because I like what Fission is doing, but by increasing the gain on Fission, the compressor, we're rising up the sound of those, everything that happens in between vocal phrases is normal, so it's not nasty, it's normal. But in the context of a mix, kind of sounds nasty. Okay, so we're gonna be doing this. We're gonna be using the gate that is part of the Mixbus. Let's see. I'm gonna put it right after the compressor. No, yeah, maybe before the compressor. So that way we can actually get it going in a way that is correct. So let's play around with it. How visible is it for you? Yeah, it is perfect. So let's see.
Beneath the sky, where the shadows creep, a whispered curse, where secrets sleep. The moon is.
I prefer to use, in these cases, the expander, because it's a little bit it's gentler, it's less intense, and I'm gonna try to be fast, so it closes as soon as the phrase is finished. Let's see, and also the release has to be fast enough. The ratio, maybe here. Let's see.
Beneath the sky, where the shadows creep, a whispered curse, where secrets sleep. The moon is cloaked, its light defiled. The blackened veil consumes the wild.
Okay, I'm gonna go a little bit easier on Fission.
Beneath the sky, where the shadows creep, a whispered curse, where secrets sleep. The moon is cloaked, its light defiled. The blackened veil consumes the wild. Through the hollow winds, the echoes call. A fragile world begins to fall. The stars are dim, their stories pale. Lost behind.
Let's see, probably it was way too loud.
Beneath the sky, where the shadows creep, a whispered curse, where secrets sleep. The moon is closed, its light defiled. The blackened veil consumes the wild. Through the hollow winds, the echoes call. A fragile.
Badass. What do you think?
I like it because it did smoothen out that some of those wasn't even plausible. Was just a very intense
snaps, as Rob is saying. Yeah, it feels
Yeah.
a little bit snappy,
Yeah.
because well, it's normal when you're singing and when you're recording vocals. Everything is recorded, not just the sound of your beautiful voice, and sometimes it could be a little bit not necessarily pleasant to the ear. Okay, so now let's continue. As it is right now, I like it, but now I think I could add a little bit of extra reverb, not reverb. Maybe a little bit of extra delay to the vocals. So we're gonna go for aux, and we're gonna go for the B delay. And let me see what we got there. On my B delay, I usually have a, yes, ultra verb. This thing is stupid. Why? It's basically speaking a delay slash reverb at the same time. And I like it on vocals pretty much because it actually has these musical artifacts to it, okay? So we're gonna sync it to tempo, place, the session, because this is actually timed. I think it did. Yes, it did. Yes, it's properly timed, so it's gonna be synced to it. That way we can get a little bit of this extra back and forth, and also since it's gonna be doing the delay thing on the sides, it's gonna add a little bit more of an extra stereo feel to it. Suggest, Robbie, go ahead. While I'm adding the delay. So I'm gonna begin applying the delay.
Beneath the sky, where the shadows creep, a whispered curse, where secrets sleep. The moon is closed, its light defiled. The blackened veil.
Very good, right?
pretty cool. Yeah,
very,
like
very
it.
good. Very, very, very good. But I'm not happy with the vocals still. There is something that it's a little bit too much. It's popping. Let me see if it's the compressor. I'm gonna turn it off. Right now, pay attention to the delay.
Beneath the sky, where the shadows creep, a whispered
I know what it is. We need a de-esser. We haven't applied that because all of those kind of harsh sounds are very much the result of the lack of de-essing. Let's try it. I'm gonna be applying the one that I've been using for the last few weeks, months now. It's a very good one. It's from the Brainworks. I think I have it here in my popularity. No, of course not. I'm gonna go for it. Creator, Brainworks, Plan Alliance. There is. I'm gonna go for where what's the name of that guy? It's Lindell. De-esser. Perfect. This guy. Yeah, this bad boy. I'm gonna put it right after the gate. Trying to see if we can clean up even more before the EQ and the compression happens. So let's rock and roll. Here we go.
Beneath the sky, where the shadows creep, a whispered curse.
As you can hear, it's taking on many things. Let's see how it sounds in the mix. Well, by its own first, because we can actually bypass or separate the stuff that we hear, the monitor, in different ways. We can check the detector, so we can exactly see what is being used for the whole DS to take place, the de-essing factor, or we can even hear the artifacts being removed by the compression. Because it is technically speaking a dynamic compressor. Yeah, you get it. Let's see. I'm gonna play back, listening to the whole thing.
Beneath the sky, where the shadows creep, a whispered curse, where secrets sleep. The moon is cloaked, its light defiled. The blackened veil consumes the wild. Through the hollow winds, the echoes call. A fragile world begins to fall. The stars are dim, their stories pale. Lost behind the blackened veil.
Okay, starting to get somewhere. Let's see how it sounds like in the mix.
Beneath the sky, where the shadows creep, a whispered curse, where secrets sleep. The moon is closed, its light defiled. The blackened veil consumes the wild. Through the hollow winds, the echoes call. A fragile world begins to fall. The stars are dim, their stories pale. Lost behind the blackened veil. We're lost behind the blackened veil. We're lost behind the blackened veil.
Could you hear the difference?
Yeah.
It works, right? It's already sounding beautiful, and it's now sitting correctly. Now, Robbie here is suggesting, and it's an actually cool trick. Let me read it out loud. It's something done previously on an instrument, but I use it often. Duplicate the vocal, EQ vocals, just to highlight the focus frequencies. Example, cut everything from 600 hertz and nothing above 5,000. Then add the 1/8 delay or a 3 and 5 delay. Yeah, that actually could be that's actually a good technique. Let's try it because as it is right now, this is basically speaking parallel mixing. What he's suggesting. The way I like to do it is through the use of a Pultec. Let me show you. I'm gonna create a new synth. Let me check if we can use any of my synths already. That way we don't have to create anything extra. No, we will have to create one. So let's do it. I'm gonna create one. This is gonna be new external new. No, I'll have to create a new channel here first. This is gonna be an audio bus. Thank you very much. This one is gonna be stereo, because obviously. No group. Thank you. Yep. Unclose. Thank you. Here is, and this guy is gonna be called Box Up. rename. And in here, then I'm gonna first make sure that it's sent to the correct output, clearly. We're going out through the effects out. Here is perfect. Now, this got out of the way. Let's try it out first. I'm gonna be applying the filter, and let me. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it there, or no, I'm gonna put it. No, there's no need. Let's do it like this. I'm gonna have that guy there, and I'm gonna send the living stuff out of my. This guy's going where? Nowhere. So this guy, I'm gonna delete it, and we're gonna create a new one. Send, and now is a box up. Perfect. I'm gonna be sending it all the way to the top because we're gonna be actually bringing that guy in. Making sense, or all the way down to this?
Yes.
For real?
Yes.
Look at you, under strips. Okay. So we're gonna how visible is this? It is. You might need to remove the overlays because I can't push. I can drag to the other side.
Okay.
So here is our box up. Okay. Now I'm gonna turn on the DQ. I'm gonna try it first with DQ from Mixbus. I'm gonna filter out basically everything as Robbie suggested. Probably 5,000 onwards is the only thing that is gonna go through. I'm gonna be bringing in this bad boy little by little, but I'm gonna add an extra touch to it. I'm gonna apply compression and a chunker. Fast attack, slow release. We're gonna make it thick, and we're gonna be playing back the track, and we're gonna be adding this bad boy little by little. It will, as a result, first thing is gonna make the sound of the vocals a little bit louder because we're actually gonna be applying a little bit of extra. Okay. But if done correctly, and chances are this will be the case, we're gonna push in the vocals in a much more cleaner fashion. But one thing, I'm gonna add an extra step. Since I know that we got plenty of S's and stuff, I'm gonna cut off a good chunk of the high end as well. We're gonna be basically creating like a notch, okay? Mm-hmm. So let's see somewhere around 7,000. Yeah, like this. You're gonna be just getting the mid highs, virtually speaking. So if everything goes according to the plan, it will work. May the Emperor protect.
Beneath the sky, where the shadows creep, a whispered curse, where secrets sleep. The moon is closed, it's like defiled. The blackened veil consumes the wild. Through the hollow winds, the echoes call. A fragile world begins to fall. The stars are dim, their stories pale. Lost behind the blackened.
Could you hear the difference?
It's subtle, but it is beefing up the vocals.
Quite a lot, right? Quite a lot.
Yeah.
Let's do it again, because I did some changes to it. I opened up the filter. You will have to remove me again. I created. I opened up a little bit the filter, the one cutting off the low end, until I found the point in which it worked. Why? I realized that if I open it up too much, there was yet another build up in the mid lows. I could hear something going. Okay. I might open up the filter, close the filter slightly more on the highs, because I want to control the sizzliness of the vocals, okay? Because even though they are working, they feel not as smooth as I would like them to be. So let's do it. I'm gonna duck it out a little bit more. So we're gonna be basically leaving, once again, the notch filter, basically just now the mid-range, just mid-range. Here we go, I'm gonna duck it down, bring it into taste. Here we go.
Beneath the sky, where the shadows creep, a whispered curse, where secrets sleep. The moon is closed, it's like defiled. The blackened veil consumes the wild. Through the hollow winds, the echoes call. A fragile world begins to fall. The stars are dim, their stories pale.
Could you hear the difference?
Yeah.
How could you describe it?
It's making it more present because I think pushing only the core of the voice, basically.
Yeah.
The frequencies that make up the core of the voice.
Yep.
So yeah, it's making it beefier.
Yes. Now, Robbie, yes, let me see if I can, if the routing allows for the box up to be audible to you. I'm gonna see if by solving both vocals and box up, we can hear both.
Beneath the sky, where the shadows creep, a whispered curse, where secrets sleep. The moon is cloaked, its light defiled. The blackened veil consumes the wild. Through the hollow winds, the echoes call. A fragile world begins to fall. The stars are dim, their stories pale. Lost behind the
It's a very subtle effect, super subtle effect, but it's just adding a little bit of extra meat and potatoes to the meat and potatoes. Yeah, that was done, but I think it makes sense. Now, Robbie here is suggesting, and I don't have issues with it, adding a little bit of delay. Because, first, let me explain why the delay thing could work. Since we're adding basically a duplicate of the sound, there will be some form of phasing coherency issues by just bringing it up liberally. But those phase coherency issues are also musical when done to taste. That's why it's very important to do it while feeling it rather than paying attention to the sound. I hope that makes sense. The delay can help because it's going to add a little bit of extra, how can I put it? Variation. It will work similarly to what you do when you record two guitars.
Okay.
Get me?
Yeah.
But it's not the same. So that's why the dimension D is also being used right now, because it's creating duplicates, but it's slightly detuned and all effed up due to the modulation. Let's try it. Now, here's the big one. Should we use a conversional delay or simply delay the signal? What would be your take? Andrew Sheps.
I suppose the idea here is just to get rid of or minimize the issue with the constellation, the phase issues. So maybe just delaying it without actually adding delay could get the job done, I suppose.
Look at that. Yes, actually, that's what I'm going to do first. We're going to go for, let me find it. It's once again Eventide. This is a plugin that is stupid. Where the hell is it? Eventide again. Eventide and what's the name of that guy? Jesus Murphy.
I don't think that's the name.
No. That's actually a good name for a plugin. Well, it does. Saves your ass. Yeah, it's not time. Precision timeline. Here it is. Boring looking, not fun, and look at that. Exactly. Even like to taste. Exactly. So we're going to be basically doing that, but we're going to be delaying the signal. So the way I like to do it is by flipping the polarity first and doing it until I find the worst spot where I cancel out the entirety of the signal. Once I'm happy with that, I invert the signal and we're going to have full phase coherence. And the beautiful thing about this is that you can actually do it in kind of milliseconds or even micro milliseconds.
Okay.
In this case, we're going to go super precise. So in this case, we're going to be using this guy. Let's test. Let's see.
beneath the sky, where the shadows creep, a whispered curse, where secrets sleep. The moon is closed, its light defiled.
Could you hear the difference?
Yeah.
I don't love the excitement. What could you do? For real?
Yeah. It's clearer.
So your camera died or what?
No, I'm still here.
Okay, so put some emphasis, man. So could you hear the difference or not?
Yeah. It's subtle. I wasn't super noticeable for me. But
Pay attention to the definition of certain words. Okay. Here we go. I'm gonna bypass the precision time, and I'm gonna put it on top of the fader. That way it won't be affected if we have to change the position of the fader. Okay.
yeah.
And yes, I have boxed up here. Here we go. Pay attention to the sound. Right now I'm gonna mute it.
Beneath the sky, where the shadows creep, a whispered.
Focus your attention on shadows creep. With it.
Beneath the sky, where the shadows creep,
Without.
beneath the sky, where the shadows creep.
Feels weaker.
Yeah, a little bit not muffled, but a little bit more behind.
Yeah, it feels behind.
Yeah.
Because this, what we're doing with this, we are boosting just those signals. Because that's why I applied the compressor, just so that once I set it up, I didn't bother with it. Because I'm just making sure that my signal is squashed. And by narrowing it down through the use of the filters on the channel strip, we created a targeted extra area that we're going to be adding to the sound of vocals. The delay helped wonders because it created this particular point in which the phase coherency actually helps. You saw that when I inserted this plugin for the first time, I actually played around with this thing. I moved it. I went far enough and then brought it back until I stopped there. This is the point on which those phrases, those particular vocal points, got embiggened. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's a good technique. It's something that it's also applicable to basses. And even guitar solos as well. Stuff that requires you to have those moments of, or not moments, in which dynamics are very important to be kind of controlled. But also, if you overdo the compressor, you start to make it sound artificial. So this is a great technique. Once again, why parallel mixing is very, 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 very much the sound of modern music production. Okay, I think we pushed this song super far. Let's create a new channel, a new save state store. This guy is gonna be called Vibe. Okay, we got the vibes. So we reached this stage in which we're gonna be analyzing the track from start to finish, and we're gonna be comparing it to the previous attempt, which was the beginning of this live stream. Okay, so please pay attention to everything we did, and there are plenty of changes. So here we go from the top.
The veil may fall, its grip undone. When hearts unite to greet the sun, with every step we find the trail and cast aside the blackened veil. Oh, the blackened veil, it blinds the day, steals the colors, fades the way. In its embrace we lose our sight, dancing blind through endless nights. But in the dark, a whisper sings of broken chains and mended wings. A spark defies the shadow's gale to tear apart the blackened veil. 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 The blackened veil.
Okay, what do you think?
The moves today were actually very good. Of course, we are at a point of the mixing that is not night and day differences anymore
No.
because we're going a little bit more targeted.
Yeah,
But the difference to the vocals is insane.
yeah.
And even though it doesn't necessarily change the entirety of the song, it changes the enjoyability of the entirety of the song.
Agreed.
It feels a lot better.
I agree. It feels polished, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because in all fairness, we spent more time than I planned on the vocals because we were super finicky. But that's how you should be when you're mixing professionally. I think we got a very good sounding mix already. From my perspective, Robbie here was commenting while the track was playing, that he feels that the high end's a little bit unruly. Yeah, agreed. It's a little bit, I wouldn't say ear piercing, but maybe it's because since this is very low end heavy, at the beginning of the mix, and this is one of the reasons why you should be always be mindful of your moves and keep track of what you do. You have seen me writing down stuff here while the track is playing sometimes, because I forget. You simply get lost on what you do. So it's very important for you to have some form of scheduling or some form of diary, on which you can keep track of what you're doing. That's why you got on your DOS the function for notes, actually, because you can truly mess up what you're doing or lose track of what you're actually working on. So at this stage, what I would like to do, I will work on smoothing out the high end. And let me go back to it. Why I gave you this insane barrage of nonsense at the beginning regarding the keeping track of your moves. I think due to the low end, heavy nature of this track, for some instruments to be a little bit more audible while mixing the low end, I simply went there and pushed a little bit higher the intensity of the high end. So it's important for you to keep track of those moves. I am aware of it because, for example, let me show you this briefly. I don't know if you could hear that the sound of the piano is filtered to the point of being laughable. Let me show you. Let me just get to the piano, to the chopper. Robbie's saying something. Well, I'm finding the spot. Can you address him or read it out loud because it's kind of tough doing.
Yeah. He's mentioning the tonal balance after the party is sounding good. Just the beginning that is a little harsh in the highs.
Yes, agreed. And it's exactly what I was mentioning as well. I think it's just compensating for those instruments to cut through at the beginning of the mix because the mix was, since it's very bass heavy, in order for those instruments to pop, we had to overdo them a little bit. Now that we worked on the low end, and it's very tight, I gotta admit that the low end right now is, I think, it's perfect. It's doing what it should. Those overcompensation moves are now way more present than they should. And speaking of compensation, pay attention to this sound. Let me find the piano here. Check this out. Piano. Here it is. Listen to this. That's good.
Yep.
That's normal piano. Check the other guy. Those are correct. But there is another piano later on. Let me zoom out. Here, playing the low end. And here is where you're going to see the crazy stuff. Check this out. Same piano. No low end.
Yeah.
Let me show you why.
Yeah, since it doesn't become that visible when you're playing the high notes.
Yeah, but because frequency-wise is
Yeah.
not affected by the filter.
Yeah.
But here you can see why. Look at the filter.
Yeah, going kind of nuts.
It's nuts. Why I did that? Because at the beginning, the amount of low end was so freaking insane that I carved the holes for the low end to cut through.
Yeah.
Now that I got it in proper shape and it's sounding correct, next week I'm going to be coming back to all of the instruments that require refinement. Because the piano is already kind of sitting correctly. You heard the first example. The note crystalline and clear. The issue was that once it plays the lower register, which is what would allow the song to feel more impactful at that point,
Yeah.
it's missing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So important. So keep that in mind when you're mixing your next project. So all in all, final take for the day.
Let me see. Look, I think was a great push. I think the vocals, even though it happens on specific portions of the song, not there throughout, it's still the lead element. So getting the vocals sounding correct truly took the song to a new level.
Yes.
It is way more enjoyable now. Even Rob was saying that he's loving the song even more, and me too. Even though today was a little bit more targeted than other days, I think the impact that it has on the enjoyability of the song was remarkable.
100% I agree with both of you. Yes, and I'm even thinking that I'm going to change the name of this live stream to Mixing Vocals. Because we actually ended up spending more time. My plan was to add effects and stuff, as I said at the beginning of this live stream, but whatever. C'est la vie. So thank you for joining, thanks for watching. If you want to support this channel, the best way to do it is by subscribing, leaving a like, leaving a comment, and especially now because YouTube seems to be going draconian, full-on British government style. Then yeah, Robbie, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. You truly know what I mean.
Yeah.
Regarding online stuff. So please do your part over there and stop them from taking over because I don't want to live in 1984 again. So, if that's your jam. Okay, with that being said, thank you for joining, thank you for watching, and as every single time we meet you, we remind you that you should never let anybody tell you what to dream about, especially the British government. And with that being said, remember that we'll see you when we see you.